right.
Well, let's get to the weekend weed.
Let's do it.
Where are you kicking us off?
Okay, I want to say congratulations to all the lovely citizens of Nevada for their long-anticipated but minimally promoted recreational pot rollout this weekend.
Yay.
Well done, you guys. You did it. They did it pretty quickly, too. It looks like, though, someone may have been sending out some smoke signals because the word really got out. Excited tourists and locals waited in line for up to 1 hour to make their legal purchases. My heart hurts for you guys, okay, you poor desert deers. If I had to wait an hour to purchase weed, I'd probably just go back home and steal more of my roommate's weed. He's a Trump supporter, so it's fine. I count it as reparations. Most customers purchasing about 1/4 of an ounce of flour, a few edibles, and a bit of concentrates. Nothing too wild, you know, but all running into the same dilemma that we run into here in Colorado. Where does a law-abiding, legal pot purchasing adult go to consume said legal purchase? I don't know, you know. The only legal place to consume your ganja in Nevada is on private property. Nevada is anticipating 2 out of every 3 recreational purchases to be made by tourists. They get more than 42 million tourists to Las Vegas every year alone, okay? So token up on the Strip could end up costing you a fine of $600, you guys. That's 24 trips to the MGM Grand Buffet.
Oh,
don't waste that money. Or 62 trips to the Circus Buffet restroom. Be careful out there. Save that money, you guys. Sounds like Nevada still has a few kinks to work out before they can really take advantage of all this prosperity and fun that legal marijuana could bring to the state.
I'm excited to do the Nevada experience, though. Turning to Colorado, where a drug raid turned out to have huge consequences for an entirely legal business.
Huge.
Now, has he ruined that word?
He's ruined it. He's ruined so much.
Well, these busts are, sometimes they're given whimsical names by law enforcement, like when they took down a Papa John's crime ring and called it Operation Extra Olives. That's cute. But when Colorado and federal agents took down 62 people and called it Operation Toker Poker, it became a real problem for the lighter accessory coincidentally called the Toker Poker. The bust, which they claim is the largest since recreational pot became legal in the state, was named because some of the defendants played poker together in high school. But now, the owner of Toker Poker, the lighter accessory, says it could cost him $20,000 to $50,000 in search engine optimization costs to keep him on the front page of Google. That's insane. So I have a Toker Poker.
One of my favorite products, by the way.
I wanted to go out and support them.
Favorite accessories, accessories.
You know, this nice little letter. It's got this little poker thing, and for listeners, we're going to give you a chance to win one of these Toker Pokers later in the episode. So stay tuned. But I've seen you with one of these, Janae. You're like a practicing Toker Poker. For me, it looks too much like a cowboy boot.
Looks just like a cowboy boot.
It's too matchy with the Western wear shirt.
It's perfect for you. You're a little cowboy.
Yeehaw!
Tell me. So, what does this part do? I don't know what that does.
That's to like tamp down your bowl.
Okay.
So yeah, it's
and then you can like wrap hemp
wick around it.
Has
some
to be
people
hemp
go,
wick
oh, why would you light anything with butane?
If you're out hiking
and
and
you can't use a lighter.
And it's also like, I know this is mine. When people want to steal my lighter, I'm like, no, you got to give that back. That's mine. So this is a great product, and calling them Toker Poker, that makes no sense. They played poker in high school together.
It's a deep cut. It was a real deep cut. I'm so glad they didn't name it anything. If I get busted, just don't look up my high school records, DEA. I was doing a lot of weird stuff back then.
Right now Vince puts up a picture of you from high school.
Oh God, there aren't any. How could he do that? None exist.
Oh. How about some more news from me? I'm Janae. I want to go back to the Nevada conversation, okay?
Sure.
Just a little bit. Because me and my beau, we're going to be visiting Las Vegas soon. My beau, my sisters, my mom, my aunts. It's going to be like attack of the Hottentot Amazonian feminazis when we get there. And I could use some help on navigating this new type of tourism. I want to be a tourist there. You know, I'm here in Colorado, and I have friends calling me, asking me for marijuana information, how they get cannabis, where they consume cannabis. I'm going to go to Las Vegas and be that idiot when I get there. I'm not using the internet. I'm just going to ask around. No, there's actually the... Okay, back to what. Thank you to everyone who purchased and consumed responsibly this weekend, by the way. That's a big feat. The local police spent months preparing for some kind of zombie apocalypse, but reported that everything went smooth. No kidding. No kidding. I keep trying to explain to people, my Bible-thumping sister mostly, that cannabis consumers are extremely chill people. Okay, you're thinking of a different drug. We chill. I anticipate that being too chill will likely be the main negative experienced by business owners in Vegas. You're going to find a lot less letting it ride and more letting it sleep in. A little less snapping at the cocktail servers for more free booze and more snapping up booths at buffets. There's a great list in this week's Cannabis featuring 6 things to know about Nevada marijuana. Number 1, hotels and casinos have been advised by state gambling regulators to continue to abide by federal law, which still bans pot. Okay, don't forget that. It would be wise for me to get my hands on some edibles. Okay, not my favorite way to consume, but it would be a mistake to toke up in Trump Hotel. It would be a mistake to stay at Trump Hotel.
Period, yeah.
It would be a big mistake. It was a big mistake that 46% of white women voted for Trump. I will never let it go. I will never let it go. Okay, I thought we were friends, white ladies. I spoke your language, Patagonia, Pinot Grigio. Anyway, next, the list warns that the potency of this modern-day cannabis may be much stronger than you remember. Bring it on, Nevada. I don't really remember anything anymore. Okay, smoking in Colorado is like underwater training. My lungs are yoked, y'all. The list also states that police will be heavily enforcing marijuana laws. So drink yourself silly as you skip down the strip and puke all the way up to the front door of the stratosphere, but consume your weed on private property only.
Wait, is the stratosphere the giant thing that makes you feel like you're falling forever?
Oof. Maybe. I only know about the buffet there. I don't even know.
Wait, you have like an intimate knowledge of these buffets. I think that was like the 4th different buffet reference. What's the go-to buffet food if you're high?
The go-to buffet food, you want to try all the desserts. Just give them a try.
Start at desserts, never the crab legs.
I do all of that stuff. What I like to do with my family, we all go together and we'll all just grab random things and we'll pass it around and pretend to enjoy them.
And pretend to enjoy.
Even if you don't like it, you have to go, this is delicious.
Well, I love it. I love your concern over where people are going to smoke there. Because, Janae, now for the low, low price of $2,000, Denver businesses may soon be able to let adults vape weed behind their doors. It's amazing.
What?
Yeah, the final rules for companies that want to allow cannabis consumption on-site are out, and they're slightly less controversial than before. Dropped from the latest draft are requirements for people to sign waivers, which I don't know about you, but I always read every word of. Give me a waiver. I am in there. And then also vaporizer ventilation plans, because apparently secondhand vape inhalation is already covered under current laws, something I personally find hilarious. Still, there are tons of restrictions on where these consumption spaces can be, what can be consumed in them, and of course, no alcohol. The big question is, will any businesses actually sign up? And we'll update you when that pilot program rolls out.
All right.
I know a few coffee shops that are thinking about it. You got Mutiny, you've got some yoga studios.
Yeah.
I don't know, I've done high yoga. I would highly recommend it, but I don't know if I need to get.
What about some outdoor spaces? You heard anything about that? I feel like that's the best thing to do here in Colorado is enjoy the outdoor spaces with a little cannabis.
Well, so Emmett Reishofer, who've had on the show and one of the I-300 proponents.
I keep running into Emmett.
He's a good man to run into. He's out and about.
While I'm high, though, and I'm like, I know this guy.
It's the bane of Emmett's existence is that people are always high and they're like, what?
I know you
He's
know
like,
it.
I'm doing my job. All right, great. But he brings up the fact that Red Rocks right now is the place where people like widely smoke pot. So why not just have a designated area for them to do that instead of people kind of mixing it in throughout the crowds? Like anyone who's ever been to a concert knows that people get high there. So he's like, okay, this is an outdoor space. Why couldn't we have a roped off area where that's where people go and consume? So it's, you know, a little respectful if people are there with like, you know, young kids or, you know, whatever, that they're not necessarily getting the, again, secondhand vape smoke. But so that's something that is kind of off the table right now. But it is a pilot program, so all this could change, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
All right. Vacation, usually a time to wind down. I want to unload in a new segment we call Jake's Fired Up. What has me fired up? All right, I'm sick of people saying that dispensaries look like Apple stores. Now, I'll admit, I've been guilty of this in the past, but just because weed isn't coming from a dude in a backpack, a dude with a backpack, if the weed's coming from a dude inside of a backpack, that is like the best Russian nesting doll of weed ever.
First they bring in this huge backpack, right? Then this guy climbs out of this backpack,
and then inside of him is a smaller backpack with weed in it. It's real weird and messy. No, instead of, just because a guy, like the weed isn't coming from a man with a backpack, doesn't mean it's equal to one of the biggest retail successes of modern times. When a story about a new MedMen store in Santa Ana, California claimed that people might mistake it for an Apple store if it wasn't for the smell, failed my sniff test. Sure, at upwards of $70 an eighth, you're definitely paying Mac prices, but a few wooden tables and iPads does not an Apple store make. Part of what makes the latter so unique is the ability to test drive their products with an internet connection, actually use the app, not look at old models behind a glass case. At the point that we're judging cannabis by stock photos on a screen and getting whiffs through tiny windows, they've missed the point of the Apple Store experience entirely. And then it's just a high-end version of knockoffs like Nugtella or Pop Tarts. That's what has me fired up.
I love it.
Don't tell me, it's just, you like look at it and it's just like, oh, there's cement floors and wooden tables and there's iPads on them.
Yeah.
It's not an Apple store.
Yeah.
That's how low the bar has been set now. Like, put some stuff on the walls.
I never go to the Apple store. Too expensive. I buy my apples from guys with backpacks all the time.
Amen.
Guys who live in backpacks.
Did it fall off the truck? All right, give it to me at a third of the cost.
Cracked screen, perfect for me.
All right.
No, I like to see you getting fired up like that, though. It's almost saw a little color in your cheeks there.
Watch out, everybody! Jake's gonna blow his lid. It was like when I did the exercise segment.
Yeah.
Get my blood flowing a little bit, and you never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Well, for more on that story and all of the great stories that you heard about, including the part 3 of a really good CBD story from our own Alicia Wallace, visit us online at thecannabist.co. Now, from a tinier, much more serious desk, that very Alicia Wallace, this week's Quick Hit.
Nevada's top tourist draws serve as bastions for adult-centered entertainment. The addition of legal marijuana seems like a natural fit for that mix, industry proponents say. However, you won't be seeing the Nevada Division of Tourism backing cannabis-focused campaigns anytime soon. As with other states that have gone down the legal cannabis path, Nevada's tourism officials aren't ready to go all in on promoting this budding industry. That's because there's a spotlight on the federally regulated hotel casinos throughout the state and the fact marijuana is still illegal in the eyes of the feds. But the state tourism office isn't ready to fold on the issue just yet. A tourism official told the Cannabist that starting next year, they plan to research the potential tourism draw of legal marijuana and the marketing of that industry for a state that is home to the adult playgrounds of Las Vegas and Reno. Check out the rest of the story on thecannabist.co, where we continue to track in depth this burgeoning new marijuana market. I'm Alicia Wallace with this week's Quick Hit.